You're listening to Adesope Live, the Afrobeats Podcast.
So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, one of my brothers from very, very long time, EL representing GH.
Yes, sir. In the building.
Listen, man, where have you been? First of all, bro.
Yo, I've been where I am, man. I'm in Ghana. I'm doing my thing, making music, recording in the studio. I've been working on an album which is out now, which is amazing. So I feel blessed, man. I've been here.
Yeah. How was,
yes, sir.
I know the last 12 months has been difficult for everybody. I always want to ask, especially with creatives that like to produce, put music out and go out touring and stuff. Yeah. None of that has happened. How has the last 12 months affected you, and how did you use it?
Yo, you know me, I'm very low key. I'm like a hermit. So I'm either in the house or in the studio or in between somewhere, man, or with the family. So, things haven't been really it hasn't been a drastic change for me personally, because I'm indoors all the time anyway. But at the same time, it feels different because it's just a different vibe. You're not free to do the things that you normally could do at the drop of a dime when you wanted to. So we feel like, I feel like there's a kind of restriction there, But besides that, I've been good, man. I've been good.
Yeah. Listen, my brother, one of the first things I wanted to talk to you was like about a decade ago, you broke into the scene and you had an amazing time shutting it down, traveling into the UK and doing stuff around the world. Talk to me about the changes that you've seen over the last 10 years.
Music has become so much more. The first thing is like access to music has become so much more. It's just so much more possible now to just get your hands on music, and the consumption of music these days is crazy. Like, back 2009, 2010, you could drop a song and like tour off that one single for like months, like even years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now, Charlie, you drop a song like 2-3 weeks, people are on to the next thing, on to the next one, because they consume music so quickly, and you have to keep up. You have to like keep releasing, keep dropping, and keep coming at them to keep up and to stay relevant. You know what I mean? So it's been that's one major change that I've seen over the years, as time goes on. But besides that, there's Charlie, things change. It's a dynamic industry.
I know, like, listen, bro, you're one of these musicians that has an incredible array of talent. So
thank you.
I still said it about a couple of weeks ago. I said one of my favorite ever freestyles on Factory 78 was when you came through. Back to back, your freestyles are still iconic to me. So you are as much as a rapper, as you are a singer, as you are a producer. Talk to me about those three talents and how it all kind of like evolved and emerged for you.
I started making music at quite a young age. I was very interested in how, that whole process ticks, how it works. I remember the first time my auntie actually, she had a recorder, like a voice recorder. And I remember the first time she actually recorded my voice and played it back to me without me like speaking, like I heard my voice coming out of an instrument the first time. For me, it was magic, man. Like I was blown away. So from then on, I was just so interested in how to duplicate that process and how to learn that process of, music and sound and everything. So my whole journey has just been something that I've been onto subconsciously for a very long time. So I found myself like in London, like the first time I started learning how to produce. I got this software in London the first time to produce. And then, I started putting the pen to the pad. And then even before that, my mom had like encouraged me to start writing poems and essays and all sorts of things like. So, I'd say it's been a subconscious journey for me. Like in the back of my head, I've always known I wanted to do this. So even without me realizing it, I've been steering that course my whole life. Yeah.
Talk to me about, now a lot of people have been put on to Ghana for a variety of reasons, the cultural aspect, the tourism aspect. A lot of people have been put on the food, the people. But talk to me about Ghana and what it's like for you, how it inspires what you do, and just tell us about that great country.
Ghana is like, it's a place like no other, man. Most Ghanaians have a love-hate relationship with Ghana because when it gets bad, it gets really bad. And when it's good, like it's really good, and you can't find that vibe anywhere else in the world. So it's like asking me to describe like my wife. Like I love her, but sometimes we have arguments. You know what I mean?
Fact.
It's something you can't live without. For me, Ghana is something that I can't do without. No matter where I go in this world, I always cringe. I always like ache to get back to the source. I try and get out of my comfort zone by traveling and seeing the world, and I've been a lot of places, but at the end of the day, home is home, man. So Ghana's got a vibe. Ghana's got a vibe unlike any other, and I'm sure that anybody who comes to Ghana realizes that, there's something different about this place. Whether they're talking about the people or the food, like you mentioned, or the overall vibe, man, it's just some magic. There's some magic to this place.
What about your musical influences? Talk to me about the musical influences from Ghana that has come into a pot of EL that you've blended with, and now that you're taking from.
When I was a kid, like when I was like 10 years old, 11 years, like from 10 to 15, about that time, there was this artist who began to, come into our family house a lot because he had married, or he was going out with my big cousin. And that artist was an artist called Reggie Rockstone.
Wow, that's a legend, Jigga.
Yo. And when he would come into the neighborhood, you would hear about it like from a mile away, like Reggie is in the neighborhood, And this was the case whereby he was coming to our house. So imagine, we had the whole town, the whole freaking town, like in the neighborhood, like right where I was at. And seeing that type of influence and that type of power and that type of, that vibe that he had, I always looked up to him. I always was like, wow, I wonder what it would be like to be in those shoes or in that position. And then was the music, man. He was a revolutionary. He came up with a sound that we hadn't even imagined was possible, in Ghana. So, I mean, experiencing that from that angle, looking at it, like he had a really big impact on my decision to start writing and start stuff like that. But there have been other artists who have come and gone, like, or who are even still relevant today, like Obrafo, who also is a huge revolutionary. The whole last two, I don't know if you guys know about last two, but last two was like a studio who earthed and birthed so many incredible music talents in Ghana. I'm talking about Tiny, Samini, Kwakese. That whole era, I was a kid, but I was frequenting there and just seeing all these legends come in and out. And it was a blessing to me, man.
Now, do you think that nowadays we give enough respect and shout out to some of the people that paved the way for what a lot of people are enjoying nowadays?
I don't think so, man. I don't think we give the artists who have impacted the culture enough flowers. We don't. What we do, and I don't think it's just a Ghanaian malady. I think it's worldwide. We wait till they're gone. When they're gone, then we begin to realize their worth. It's just like God till it's gone. You don't know what you have until it's gone. When we start playing their music on radio like 24/7, and we're like, wow, I remember this song. I was actually thinking about the same exact thing we're talking about today. Like, we don't want to wait till an artist is gone, then you're gonna hear his songs on the radio. and you begin to hear all the accolades that you should have given him while he was alive or she was alive. So in that regard, I don't think we do. I think we need to celebrate our local legends so much more.
Facts. Now, when you came in the game, you also came around, your brothers like the Sarkodiers and all of these guys that you guys, it was like a massive force that took over Afrobeats. It came into the UK and shut it down. Ghana has consistently, had artists and rappers that are doing very well. What's the hip hop scene like in Ghana now? Because you're a massive hip hop head. Like, how do you feel the hip hop scene is doing in Ghana, and who are you listening to? Who should we be keeping our eyes on right now in Ghana?
Man, I don't know, man. I still listen to the cats that I've been listening to from my very inception, from the very beginning, man. So for me, there's a scene, that's bubbling under. That's very interesting. And I can mention artists all day, but the thing is, I still listen to the people who actually I started with. For me, it's always about staying true to the core of it, So they're amazing talents these days. I mean, Walasi is one of my favorite local artists right now. Kwesi Arthur is an amazing one as well, So there's some interesting cats out there right now.
There was a time that I heard that EL was actually in the States and you spent time out there. What was that move about? And what were you trying to
Sorry, I can't hear you very well. Hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay.
I think it's raining. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Better?
Yeah.
Cool. So there was a time I heard that you were in the States and you were probably moving to the States or whatever. What was that trip? What was that about? And were you considering ditching the continent for the United States or America? What was that about?
I went to the States to get away from a lot of things. At that time I had to get my head right. I was in a space where, I wasn't feeling right about a lot of things, and I was really down. So I really just had to get out. So I wasn't just in the States. I traveled to different parts of the world just to, try and find myself. It happened right after I won the Artist of the Year, which is a big, prestigious award.
VGMA.
Yeah, man. And for me, instead of feeling like this, I was feeling like that for some crazy reason, So I don't know. It's something about me. I'm weird that kind of way, So I just felt like, what, F it. So I just packed up and left. So I was on a path of a journey of trying to discover a lot of things. And that's when I began to record the Waves album. So track 1 on Waves basically talks a lot about what I was going through mentally. And there's also a track on Waves called Blow in America, which speaks about my journey, from Ghana to the States and stuff like that.
Did you think, there was the popular separation with you and your label at the time and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you ever think that separation affected the trajectory of EL? How did you see that separation?
Yeah, it certainly did. It certainly did because, when you're under a label, you're being managed. So you have a lot of things that have been put in place for you to thrive and to survive as an artist. So when those things are taken away or when you're separated from those things, it makes your trajectory a little different. Then you have to try and find your feet and reassess yourself and make new plans. So, in that process could take time. It could take time for you to just be able to find your feet, like I said, and re-strategize, And so it was difficult for me in the very beginning because I had no idea, the structures that had already been put in place for me to thrive as an artist and how I could capitalize on those. And if they weren't there, how I could revamp those structures, And it's just me being honest. It wasn't easy for me, but it was a necessary separation, because at that time I reached a point where I just had to cut away, you know. So, yeah.
Was there anything that you probably have done differently, or if you were kind of mentoring a younger artist today, was there anything that you would have steered them a little bit better than how it all turned out at that time for you?
No, man. Yo, at this point in my life, I couldn't be happier, man. At this point in my life, I couldn't ask for too much, because, yo, I'm blessed when it comes to how far I've come in my journey, and how self-sustaining and how independent and how knowledgeable I am right now. All those mistakes that I might have made in the past, and all those lessons that I've learned have made me the best version of myself that I could possibly be. So I really I'm not a look back and try and change stuff type of guy. You know, I'm forward looking, and I've been forward looking for quite some time now, and I'm the best version of myself that I could be today.
Waves, West African vibes.
Yeah.
Congratulations on this.
You
amazing.
Heard it?
I heard it, bro.
Yeah.
I heard it. You know, I love, you know, instantly, obviously, I like the record where you're speaking to God, Baba Gay. I love the blow up in America. I love the record with Oxlade. I love the record with Sarkodie. For me, I think it was another album, another project that reinforces the variety of skills that you have. And that's rapping, singing, making great Afrobeats, Afro-pop records.
Yeah, you can imagine how hard that shit is to do, because you're trying to fit everything into one box. It's easy to get up and say, I'm making a rap album, because it's all rap. So you can you can line up some rap songs. Yeah. But when you're in my shoes, you have to like think for different people. You have to consider every single person, because I can do that, you know. So it's been a really interesting journey, man. Really interesting.
How long have you been putting this album together?
4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So when people say I've been quiet, like I'm not making waves, I'll say, yo, I was making waves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I really, the thing about me as an artist, I don't rush nothing. I don't rush anything. If it's gonna take a year for me to finish this beat, it's gonna take a year. I don't need to rush anything. So I took my time with it.
Now with this project, your collaborations were very specific, you know. Yeah. You had the young Buck Oxley, I had the OG Sarkodie. You know, you kind of selected them. Talk to me about making the project and deciding on who you were going to have on this album.
I didn't decide. Like I said, it's been 4 years in the making. So I have had a few of these songs for a while now. Like the track with Sarkodie, I recorded in 2017.
Wow.
Thereabouts. Yeah. And we have many more songs that are in the archives. So we just picked this one and said, you know what, I think this one will do well for this album. Wow. And so I don't set out to say, I want to feature this artist and I have to get this artist to be on my album. No, what I do is I just go on a journey, and what happens on that journey is what I present to the people that, look, this is my life. This has been my life for the past X number of years, or, you know, for the past time. So this is what I'm about today. And I think that's being a pure artist to me. I don't set out with the finished product in mind. I just get up and create what I can, you know.
How would you define Waves as an album to a brand new listener?
I would say it's something that will appeal to all your senses. You know, so it's something that would take you up and put you in an inspirational, in a high mood, and something that would make you feel somber, and something that will make you feel like you want to party. And it's something, it's just a psychotic piece of work for me. That's how I would describe it. So get ready to go on a roller coaster.
how would you judge, or what would be your own gauge of success for this album? Now, this is your second album and maybe your 13th project. You've dropped a lot of mixtapes in the past. You've dropped a lot of EPs in the past. You know, but this is your second official album. What are you expecting from this album? What will be success for you here?
It's my third album. Yeah.
Third album.
Yeah, third album. Yo, I have over what? I have over 15 mixtapes. I've got the third album. Crazy. Yeah. What I set out to achieve every day is to just reach. I mean, of course, I would want to reach like thousands, like millions of people with the album and have everybody singing along to the music and whatnot. That's nice. But you know what I like? I like those messages that I get in my inbox. And this is what I basically live for. Like, I get in my inbox and somebody's telling me a personal story about how this line or this song or this verse
I know where I was when I heard some
you know what I mean?
Records. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I have those memories.
That's what I live for, man. I remember there's a verse by Eminem. It's a song called Sing for the Moment. And in the third verse, that whole verse changed my life. On God. Like, it changed I cried when I heard that verse because I felt like he was talking to me. You know what I mean? So when I make music, I'm thinking about how I can affect somebody. Like, just choke them, you know, just get in there and make them feel like, yo, this has impacted me. This is going to change my life. And that power is bigger than anything else to me. But I still want the Grammys and shit, though, you know what I mean?
Now, speaking about the Grammys, your brothers from Nigeria have done well in picking up the Grammys. It also caused a little bit of conversation in Ghana where Ghanaian artists like Shatta Wale and Co have said, you know, Ghana isn't supporting the talents enough to get to that height of winning the Grammy. What are your thoughts about the whole situation and the arguments that artists like Shatta Wale are putting up that maybe Ghanaians are not supporting Ghanaian artists enough at that level?
I think it's just a matter of unity, man. For me, I think that's our number one problem. Everybody has a clique, a sect, a gang, and mixing is a problem. That's Ghana's, the industry's first problem. There's a lot of backbiting. I remember like years ago, I would get a show and then probably there's another artist on the show. So they hit him up, they hit me up. I'm like, cool. They hit him up and he's like, who else is on it? It's like, oh, these artists, no, take them off, give them, you know, it's a lot of backbiting that I've seen go on in the industry. And that's not to say it doesn't happen. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you said it doesn't mean it doesn't happen anywhere else?
Sorry?
Did you say that doesn't mean the backbiting doesn't happen in any other industry? You were talking about...
No, it happens. It happens. Yeah. I'm just speaking about what I know and where I'm from. You know, where I'm from, it's a little challenging. I don't know what happens in other industries because I'm not from other industries. This is my industry. This is my world. This is where I grew up, you know? So that's what I've seen. But I also think the quality of music is another huge factor. More often than not, and this is not me dissing anybody or being disrespectful to anybody, but you can play, let's say 90% of the mainstream songs that come out of South Africa, Nigeria, and you can play 90% of the songs that come out of Ghana, and you will hear a difference in quality. It's facts. Anybody who has a trained ear, like the people who make the selections at the Grammy, know this. So when they listen to the music, it might be a good song, but no matter how good your song is, if it's not technically perfected, they'll count it out. It doesn't count, you know? So that's how come you have certain artists coming out of the West and you can hear the music and I'm like, this song is whack, but
everybody is on it because it has that quality to it. And that's something that you can never count out. You can't rule that out. So I think once we're able to get the quality also up there, we stand a chance.
You have not only produced for, iconic artists from the Sarkodie's of this world, you've also produced for the young up-and-coming stars of tomorrow, like the Jackies of this world. Talk to me about the fresh blood that's coming out of Ghana at the moment. I think Ghana has some of the hottest young acts that are about to burst on the scene. Talk to me about working with those and what you think about those young up-and-coming artists.
Yo, the youth is crazy, man. I mean, what they're doing these days, I mean, the sounds that I hear, some of the music that I hear, from artists like you mentioned, Jackie, it's a vibe, man. And it's something that always excites me when I hear, because it's new, it's fresh, and it's a new opportunity, not just for the upcoming artists, for all the artists to get onto something new and to help them stay relevant, because this is the next level on the ladder. So it's like they are introducing something that's going to propel all of us to the next level. And after they also have had their time, there's a new generation that's going to come and propel everybody. And I think when that happens, we all grow together. You know what I mean? When that happens, we all have an opportunity in our own different rights and in our own different parts of the industry to grow. And that's how you grow an industry. It's not like one person comes and we raise just that one person up and that person falls and then somebody else comes and we raise. I think a collective effort is what's going to make us grow as an industry, Listen,
my brother, it's always a pleasure to finally catch up with you.
Yes, sir.
You've been an incredible talent and asset to African pop music, and it's great to have you back at the top of the pile where you belong. with incredible music, man. Waves is a fantastic project. 13 records strong that people need to just go and check out. You said, has absolutely everything for everybody. Where can people catch you? Your social media and everything.
Yo, follow me on Twitter. It's ELGH_. On Instagram, it's ELRepGH. And follow my Spotify. Follow my Spotify. It's E.L. That's important to us artists these days, Absolutely. So, man, hit me up, man. You know what it is.
Listen, my brother, thank you very much for sharing this time with me. Before you go, just do a little introduction and just say that you're chilling with Adesope.
Yo, my people all around the world, Ghana, West Africa, East Coast, West Coast of the world. This is EL Young Glummy the Dawn in the house from GH, and you're chilling with Ade in the building.
I appreciate you, brother. Have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to seeing you in the UK once the doors open.
Yo, Adesope, I'm gonna be there in a few weeks. Give me about a few weeks. I'll be over there, so I'll check you out. I'll hit you up. You know what it is.
It's done. All right, brother. Thank you, bro. Have a wonderful evening, man. Yes, sir.
You're listening to Adesope Live, the Afrobeats Podcast.